Dun-dun-dun-dun. Welcome back to the People Power Fantasy Football Podcast. And we are apparently sponsored by Star Wars. I am Ryan Harper.
Nick, the Giant Slam.
The Giants.
1-9, baby.
Forget, every time you say it, I'm like, what? Where's he going with this? All right, well, let's go over some recaps, man. This was the first week I wasn't able to watch football, and it sucked. Absolutely sucked. I missed it. But the recaps, obviously I went over it all, but, I guess the recaps will help remind me of what I missed. The first matchup is going to be me versus Rams, bringing it up the rear, and I got the victory, 178 to 151. Yeah, how about them apples? And then we had Marcus losing. That's right, you heard it right, folks. Mark lost to Luck of the Irish. 2 of Mark's 3 losses has come to Luck of the Irish. And guess what? Luck of the Irish only has 3 wins. So that's pretty impressive. 2 girlies, 1 cup dominated Average Joe's. 204 to 117. Total domination won 107 to 97 over Beer Money. Green Around the Gills won 115 to 97 against Snowflake. These are some pretty low-scoring games, man. And then we had Brown and Cupulator beating the Joker 148 to 119.
Yeah, some good, some low-scoring matches, but all in all, pretty good week. Not for me, of course, because, I hate life. But anyway, moving on to next week, this week, week 11, we will have the Luck of the Irish going up against me. So that's going to be a win for a Luck of the Irish, probably. We have 2 girlies, 1 cup going up against Total Domination. We have the Snowhawks going against Brown and Cupulator.
And that, my friend, is going to be a matchup because it is the number 1 ranked team versus the number 2 ranked team. If he beats me, he goes to number 1 because we'll be tied, but he gets a tiebreaker. Very exciting to get this matchup underway.
Yes, this should be a good one. Then we have the Joker and Green Around the Gills facing off. Have Average Joe's and Beer Money facing off. And last but not least, we have Mark's team going up against Rams, bringing it up in the rear.
Bringing it up in the rear. So now the power rankings, it's been pretty silent as of late, It seems like teams have just been settling where they were. There's been very little movement. Now, there's been quite some movement this week. In fact, there were 6 teams that moved. So I know it's only half of the league, but at this point in the season, that's pretty impressive. Still at number 1 is yours truly, the Snowhawks. Now, number 2 is Brown and Cupulator. They moved up 1 spot from last week. And now, if it were the playoffs, it would be the 2 of us getting the bye in the first round of the playoffs. So, just put that in perspective for you. The EBDB B&B is now number 3. They dropped a spot from losing last week. 2 girlies, 1 cup, still at number 4. Rams bringing it up the rear is still at number 5. Green Around the Gills is at number 6. They moved up 2 spots last week. Total Domination stays at number 7. Average Joe's falls 2 spots to number 8. The Joker is still at 9. Luck of the Irish moves up a spot to number 10. Beer Money falls a spot to 11. And Snowflake is still carrying all of our gear from the rear at number 12.
Yeah, I'm used to it by now.
Yeah.
It's all good. Just cry myself to sleep every night. No big deal.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah. But, it's just move on to a brighter note. The playoffs are soon approaching.
Yes.
And speaking of that, we're going to go ahead and show how basically talk about how to get into the playoffs for those who didn't know, because I found out not that long ago, or was reminded by the GOAT, Snowhawk. So basically, all you have to do, one of the ways you do is just, win the division that you're in. For example, right now,
that's what I'm doing right now, isn't it?
I'm sorry?
That's what I'm doing right now, is it not? Winning my division?
Yeah. I was going to start off with actually our division, the Southwest.
Yeah.
Snowhawks is winning that division.
Because I am awesome.
And going to Southeast, Total Domination is winning that division.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Mr. Steve.
Mr. Steve.
And for the Northeast division, we have Brad, Mr. Brown and QP later. He's winning that division. Way to go. And then we have Mark's team. Just a bunch of letters smushed together. And that's the leader of the Northwest division. But I mean, even if you don't win your division, you're still one way you could still make playoffs, and that is just to have the best record, or not the best record, but the best record that's not division leaders.
Yeah, so basically, if you don't win your division, you'll still be considered the 5th and 6th best team in the league by record standpoint, not power ranking standpoint. To put that in perspective, Total Domination is ranked 7 in the league. He's winning his division, so he's got a spot in the playoffs, but he's not in the top 6. So if the playoffs started right now, there would be a 4 and a 5 that would make the playoffs, and the 6th best team on the power ranking standpoint wouldn't be in the playoffs. That's how that works.
Yeah. I mean, for other teams, there's still a chance. Not for me, though, because, it's just 1-9. Depression.
But if you win all the games from here on out, you still won't make the playoffs.
Right. That's the way to look at it. So, I mean, that's one thing to look at it.
Yeah.
Also, bring up outside of the fantasy world about the NFL. Tyrod Taylor, the quarterback for Buffalo, is going to be benched this week.
What?
Yeah, I guess because he just was completely terrible against the Saints.
That's a sign of panic from that coach. That's what that is. Tyrod hasn't been bad. It's just that coach, he knows he's probably about to get shit canned, so he's like, I gotta do something to make it look like I'm trying.
Yeah. I mean, just one bad game. I mean, then again, it was against the Saints, who have been almost unstoppable.
I know. We need to hire somebody to take them out.
Deathstroke. And also, with Teddy Bridgewater officially being active again from the leg injury that he had, the Vikings are still going to start Case Keenum over him for at least one more week. So that was kind of interesting to find out, having him hurt for so long and now him being back, but still it's probably a little rest for the rest of the year.
Right.
Yeah, so it should be interesting for another week to see how that plays out.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, it's crunch time, ladies and gentlemen. It's crunch time. We have finished 10 weeks in our fantasy football league. There are 13 weeks in our regular season, and we have 3 playoff weeks. Week 11 is a big one because, well, if you know you're out of it, like Lamb here, if you're trying to sell your team to get draft picks for the next year, this is the last week you can do that. As of tomorrow at game time, the moment kickoff hits, no more draft pick trades. That's how it works. That's how the rule book is written. If you don't like it, address it in the offseason. We can change it. So that's huge. That's absolutely huge. If you Lamb's not the only team that's out. There's other teams, and if you see somebody on that team that you want, and you want to make a run for the championship, now's the time to move, because without draft pick trades, there's really no incentive for them to trade away their best players, because they could just keep them, for next year. So that's something to think about. And then also, outside of the draft pick trade, the next week, which would be the start of week 12, is the trade deadline for players. So on the kickoff of the Thursday game next week, there will be no trading at all for the rest of the season. So something to think about, because that's pretty big. I would say championships aren't made at the draft, and I love trading. So this is big for me, 'cause I mean, not that people like to trade in this freaking league. Looking at you, Bader and Tony, because they think, Jay Ajayi is worth, fucking Le'Veon Bell. Fucking stupid.
And McCaffrey is worth, your firstborn, your leg, your arm.
Right. But yeah, so I just figured I'd remind you guys, by the time this podcast releases, it's going to be the night before the Thursday night game. But I'm going to make a post in the league as well to help remind you guys that, because that's a big deal for some teams. Like the teams, every team it should be a big deal for, but the teams that are like 4th, 5th, 6th in the playoff chart right now, like those are the teams that are like, okay, I'm in the hunt, but I'm at the bottom of the barrel of the top 6. I need to do something, So that's really big for those teams. But even teams like me, and Brad, who are the number 1 and 2 team right now, you can only go one way. You can only fall. You can't go up any higher. So you got to build the best team you can before the playoffs. That's why, the waiver wire is so huge. You're looking for the future. I think it was Lamb. I think it was you. It was either you or Jimmy. You were asking me something a week ago, and I forgot who you were asking me about. It might have been a tight end. It might have been a wide receiver. It might have been a defense. But it was one of those positions I changed like weekly. And you asked me about it, and I was like, well, I was thinking about going this guy, but I ended up going him instead because I liked his schedule week 14, 15, 16 for the playoffs. And if it was you or Jimmy, the response was, well, you're already thinking about the playoffs. Well, yeah, man. Like, I have a record where if I lose a couple of games, I'm still in the playoffs. Like I'm fortunate enough for that, so I'm not worried about next week. I'm more concerned about building my strong playoff team so I can make that run in the playoffs. So keep that in mind, because you might lose a 6th-round pick, but you might get a championship out of it. Your name's forever carved into the stone of the Chris Harper Trophy. What all of us dream about. I'm the only one to have it done more than once, by the way.
Yeah, just, not bragging, but that means he's the god of fantasy football. Just saying.
Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, just, if you won a bell, he'll spare your life later on. Alrighty. Well, let's hop into the prediction train that we've been doing. Right now, the leader is Ryan with 25 points.
Wait, whoa. I'm winning again?
Yeah, cheating ass.
Wasn't it like 2 weeks ago I was in last place and you're talking mad shit?
Yeah. Kind of. So first with 25, and I'm right behind you with 24. So anything could happen this week.
Yeah.
Anything. And Tempest, who's sick a lot lately.
Yeah, what's that, 3 weeks in a row now? Fuck that bitch.
She's 23 points, last place. I mean, speaking of her, I hope she's feeling better though. She's kind of enslaved by this sickness she's been having. It seems like
this is the longest period I've ever seen a girl have.
I know, it's crazy, crazy. But anyway, hop into this for Thursday night football tomorrow night. We have the Titans at Pittsburgh, which is pretty easy for me to pick.
So you're going to go Titans then?
No, I'm going Steelers.
You're going Steelers?
Yes, sir.
I am going to go... God, I want to go... I got to go... I want to make it interesting, but I know Pittsburgh's going to win this game.
That's what me was last week. I want to make it interesting. I wanted to take chances and it backfired on me.
You picked first most of the games last week. I want to go Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. All right. And for the 1 o'clock slot games, we have one of them, the Rams at Vikings.
I know Rams are hot, but I want to go Vikings.
You want to go Vikings?
Yeah.
All right, well then I'll go Rams then.
All right.
Alrighty. Then we have another 1 o'clock slot is the Redskins at the Saints.
Oh, that's I hope the Redskins win. But I'm going to go the Saints.
You're going to go Saints. I'm going to go Redskins.
Are you real? Don't. Okay.
Yep, just taking chances now. Then we have I guess the game of the week is going to be the Mexico City game with the Patriots and the Raiders in Mexico City. Mexico.
I'm going to go. I'll go Patriots.
Patriots too. I guess I'll go because Oakland is trash now. They have, in my words. Then the Sunday night game, it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles going up against the Dallas Convicts, the Cowboys.
I'm going Philly.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to go against them now. I'm going to go Philly as well.
I hope Mark's on Xbox. Whenever they get annihilated, he's crying.
Because, I'm not, I like yeah, go Steelers. Yeah.
I'm a Steelers fan now.
And then the Monday night game, which is the game I hate both these teams, but it's the Falcons at Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Seahawks for me as well, because just fuck the Falcons.
Well, I'll go Falcons if you're going Seahawks.
Alright, I'll change it then. You can go the Falcons.
The Falcons.
Alright, and that's the predictions for the Week 11.
For the Week 11. You heard it here first, folks. The Week 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, that's all I got, man. You got anything else for these wonderful people, Lamb?
Just, good luck everybody this week, Except luck of the Irish, which
and luck of the Irish.
You don't need much luck to face me.
I mean, I barely beat you.
Yeah.
Mark barely beat you.
Mark, yeah.
Wasn't it like 280 to like 5 when he played you?
Basically, because Kareem Hunt's little bitch ass.
Back when Kareem Hunt was extra good?
Yeah, now he's average.
Watch him get like 5 touchdowns this week.
And then he looks in the mic, fuck you, Ryan.
Alright, well, that's all we got. See ya!
Bye.
Bye.